He's going to pour into this spokesman important words. He's going to send him on a mission. And this mission is to say, you guys got hard hearts. This nation that I love, that I've spoken to, that I've promised, have a unique divine relationship with, you all are. Look at the words. You are rebellious. You are hard-hearted. You are stubborn. Even bring it back, it says, they're not just a little bit this way, they are completely hard-hearted. Now, think about this for a second. How hard-hearted do you have to be for God to speak this way and talk this way? What does a heart like this look like? It's not one. It's their ancestors. Started all this. This is generation on generation. One group got angry at God, got bitter with God, and the next generation got infected by the disease. And the next generation got... And so now they've got history of we're a hard-hearted people. We're tough and we're proud of it. We have no compassion. We have no empathy. All meaning and purpose for our life is gone. Do you know any people like that? I mean, do you know people that you can look at these words and take these words and say, wow, I know blank, Steve, Bobby, Sue. And you can visualize this person and what God's describing. Or maybe, honestly, today, that's you. Maybe you're closed off. Maybe you are shut down. Maybe you're one of those people that are saying, prove to me, show me, do something incredible, amazing. These hard-hearted people go to the point where even if the Red Sea parted again, they're not going to believe it's God. Even if there was a miracle, even if an amazing work of Jesus Christ acted today, and still say, still don't believe it. It's a gimmick. Our hearts can go so dark. Our hearts can so cynical. But Ezekiel's commanded to go. He's sent on a mission for the heart, and that's actually our mission. Ezekiel is to reach out to hard-hearted people, and we are to reach out to hard-hearted people. It was the mission of Ezekiel, it was the mission of Jesus Christ, the mission of the early disciples of the church, and it's still our mission today. But God's saying this is not going to be easy. I mean, where else in the Bible do you hear God say, go? Oh, and by the way, they aren't going to listen. You're going to do the job, whether they listen or not, whether they get it or don't get it. Your job is to go be my mouthpiece, and they're not going to listen. Who wants to sign up for that message gig? Where's the hope? Where's the confidence that my job's going to be a success as I go on mission with people? And this is not easy. This is not easy for him, and it's not easy for us because it is a dark, cynical world. It is a world where people now are not just hard-hearted to God. They're not just hard-hearted to family. They're hard-hearted to the church and to the mission. I would hate to tell you how many pastors I've talked with, met with, hung out with, that actually are very cynical that the church and the mission really works. They're angry, they're bitter, they're frustrated. And their hearts are hard. And they're going through the motions. It is outstanding how much this has affected us here as a people. It's not just them. It's not just the world. It's us. So we have to ask yourself, what do I do with this hard heart? What do I do with this type of thing? And how, if we're going to go on mission, how do we go engage the world? How do we not become like them? How do we protect our hearts as we go and interact with cynical, dark, broken people who are resistant? And God says, just don't join them. He tells Ezekiel, Don't participate with them. They're idol worshipers. They're angry. They're frustrated. Don't participate in what they're doing. Don't buy into their lying and feed their lying and say, you know what, you're absolutely right. Yeah. And we do that. A lot of us slide from going on mission to becoming one of the people in the crowd, just griping and groaning. And God says, you can't do that, Ezekiel. You can't join them in this type of a thing. Heart disease. We're talking about a hard heart. Coronary artery disease. The number one cause of death in the United States. This is the number one cause. Our heart kills more people than anybody else. Is this a small issue in our life? It's a huge issue. More people die. And the cause is usually junk, plaque, things like platelets and cholesterol, tissues and fibers. They narrow the artery, they get tighter, and less gets through, and finally it locks up. But there's symptoms before you get to that point. Shortness of breath. You have that pain in your chest and just feel like someone's sitting on you all the time. There's all these little symptoms, and you can feel the symptoms, know the symptoms, and you can ignore. I have heart disease. I have heart trouble. You can be walking up a hill, you can go for a jog, thinking, I'm getting in shape. Boom. Why not listen to the warning signs? Why not look and say, you know what? Maybe I need to adjust my life. Maybe I need to do some things differently than I've done before because I'm heading for disaster. And God's always talking to His people that way. God's always warning them. God's always reaching out. This is not just a physical hard heart. It's a spiritual hard heart. And God throughout all the time has been saying, come back to me. I will love you. I will nurture you. I will develop you. But you've got to get rid of the junk. You've got to change. And He promises to do His part, and He asks us to do our part. And He calls us together in this amazing thing called transformation. And that's what we're going to look at the next couple weeks. What is that transformation? How do we transform from dark, cynical, critical people who have hard hearts to people that God can use and mold and develop? How do we see the warning signs and say, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to reach people, but I'm not going to be affected and diseased and become like that. And the number one way, I think, is stay in community. The number one way is we got to stay together. Because if we are in community, if we're not hanging out and doing life together, if this is all you're going to do, Sunday morning, this is it for you, you're in for a lot of trouble. Because this can't do it. We trumpet life groups for a reason here at Journey. We believe in life groups. If you have never, ever gone to a life group, I would love to see every life group packed to the gills this week. Because this room can't handle the 5 houses we have, okay? I would love to have people call me saying, Rich, I got no room. People all came. We need community. We crave community. No one likes to be alone. And in these communities, we get together and we act like the first century church acted. They ate together. They worshiped together. They prayed together. They did life not just on Sunday, but on Monday, on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, and throughout. It was a whole thing. Not a once a month checkup visit. They did life together in community. So when life hits the fan, and you are financially broke, or you need that extra little money, or your house needs to be repaired, that group would throw money on the table, put the tool belts on, and they would go and do community at your place, and because you're family. See, if we're going to go out into hard-hearted worlds, we have to help each other with our hearts. We have to help guard each other's hearts. We have to infuse and pump and invest in each other's hearts so our hearts stay protected as we go to reach more people.